Um, today is like one of those days where there are stories that I think are silly, but they're important because for better or for worse, I would probably argue for worse. In the final analysis, our society gravitates towards certain things, and certain stories have more import than others. I mean, the Omarosa stuff is a little tiring, but it's relevant. And even the story about the guy who oversaw the assassination of Osama bin Laden, it has relevance, particularly in the most important story, and that is, in my mind, what's happening with the Kavanaugh hearings. But in the meantime, let's talk about this. This is Omarosa has been releasing tapes. She has 200 tapes, supposedly. I mean, one can only imagine. And one of those tapes is a recording that Omarosa made of a phone call that she got from Lara Trump. Lara Trump is Eric Trump's wife, Eric Trump being the less stupid of the two Trump boys. And she was involved in the campaign, or she's involved maybe in the 2020 campaign. Now, there's been a lot of donations apparently to the 2020 campaign. And apparently what they do is they use that money as a slush fund to keep people quiet, as evidenced by this conversation with Lara Trump and Omarosa as seen on MSNBC, or played on MSNBC. Here it is.
Sounds a little like, obviously, that there's something you got in the back pocket to pull out. Clearly, if you come on board the campaign, like, we gotta...
Oh, God, no.
Everybody's positive, right? And so the only thing that we have to consider when we're talking salary as far as the campaign is concerned is that, as you know, everything is public. And all the money that we raise and that pays salaries is directly from donors, small dollar donors for the most part. So I know you were making $179 at the White House. And I think we could work something out where we keep you right along those lines. Specifically, let me see, I haven't even added up the numbers, but we were talking about like $15K a month. Let me see what that adds up to. 12. Yeah, so that's $180,000. Does that sound like a fair deal for you?
There you have. And she goes on to say, in terms of your position specifically, I really feel like your position would require, you to be flexible in terms of where you are. Sometimes you'd come to New York for occasional meetings, but I would love if you could occasionally go do speaking engagements, that sort of thing. So in other words, this is a classic no-show job. $15,000 a month, I should say. And apparently some donors are getting a little upset that their money is being spent on a no-show hush fund, slush fund job. And, it just goes to show you, Omarosa, maybe she deserved to win The Apprentice. I think she came in second.
I think Omarosa is so impressive.
And the business acumen, she knows if she can get 180 from Lara Trump, what's she going to get from a publisher when she starts to release these? I mean, if she was super smart, what she would do is she would have created her own podcast, released these on her podcast for Patreons only for the first 2 weeks, and then release it live.
I didn't want to say anything, Sam, but this is going to be my last day.
Yes. There you go.
I don't love that. Hey, what about Brendan releasing tapes? Should I say it? He's a lowlife.
He's a lowlife.
Lowlife.
Lowlife Brendan.
Lowlife Brendan. That's what we always call him.
Bark Brendan. That's what I call him. He's a dog.
I pull Brendan aside. It's like there's some ethics questions about the inkjet fund.
One more clip to play before we get to Cliff. The best part is that despite the fact, and this is creating quite a stir, and the idea that she recorded, we don't know. It could be the rest of the tapes she has after this Lara Bush thing, which they are spending, I guess, a lot of time trying to deal with, particularly particularly in terms of donors. Donors seem to be upset about this. The last thing that you want your money that you donate to Donald Trump to go for is to pay a black woman. I mean, that is that is completely the reason why you donate to Donald Trump is so that money does not flow to black women in particular, I would think is the, but nevertheless, here is Fox News trying to pretend like this is not a big deal. Meanwhile, every story coming out of the White House is they're in a full-on panic mode like nothing they've ever been in, short of the president's campaign chairman almost being convicted of a crime at this very moment. So here is Fox News doing their best to bail out of a sinking ship.
Meanwhile, Omarosa, the former White House aide and reality TV star, revealing a new secret recording featuring the president's daughter-in-law, Laura Trump. Doug McKelway is live at the White House. Doug, is there anything significant in this new Omarosa tape?
Dana, no bombshells, no release of any N-word tape, and that's highly significant because this entire uproar over Omarosa is predicated on the alleged existence of a tape in which the president uses the N-word. To date, no one has produced such a tape, nor any hard evidence that such a tape actually exists. Omarosa did provide this little bit of a teaser, though. Listen up.
There are things that I write about, and then there are things that I'm going to save to share when the time is right.
She's so good.
There it is, folks. Your next MSNBC contributor.
That's probably true. The cortisol, though, just going through Trump's body. How can you not love it?
She just, it's significant that they haven't dropped the N-word tape. We probably have 199 more tapes to go until we get there. Like, literally, it's possible. Every 2 or 3 days, she's going to release a tape. I mean, this is like the functional equivalent of that WikiLeaks dump, where like every news story for 2 or 3 years was a function of a WikiLeaks dump. And it could just end up being this with the Omarosa tape. So good luck to you, Fox, by attempting to say this is not relevant. It seems to be the most relevant thing in the White House right now.